All right, happy New Year's to you guys and your families. Hope y'all had an awesome New Year's. I was up till 6 in the morning drinking tequila, but we're here. Hope y'all can blow up fireworks in your state. We for sure can here in Texas, and if you can't, wherever you're from, I feel bad for you because we went freaking crazy in San Antonio. Spurs win. Can't ask for a better way to enter the New Year's. We'll get into the lead chart and things here in a second. First thing I want to address for the game, a lot of people were talking about it. I was noticing it myself when I was watching the game. I wouldn't say officiating gave the Spurs the win. I wouldn't say officiating gave the Knicks the lead. I thought officiating was kind of weird, at least to start the game. I had written it down. It was like the first quarter, at least the first half. The Spurs had we got fouled on two different threes at least, and they were reviewing those threes to see if it was a flagrant foul on the closeout. Y'all kind of know how it goes if you jump. And honestly, if anyone gets within like 1 feet of you and they stick their front foot out a little bit and land on your foot on purpose, because players do that on purpose now. They're kind of finessing the refs like they always like to do. But anyway, there was two of those on us where we got called for flagrant fouls. I think the Knicks had two three-pointers as well where they reviewed those and they turned those into flagrant fouls. I could be wrong. It was at least three different threes in the first half, though, where we fouled or the Knicks fouled us, and they reviewed them for flagrant fouls on the closeouts. It was literally back to back plays. The Knicks had one, we had one, maybe in like three plays in a row. It felt crazy, but I think that's kind of wild. All the closeout rules. It comes from Kawhi Leonard because Zaza Pachulia, of course, stuck his foot out and sprained Kawhi Leonard's ankle. But I did notice that in this game. The flagrant foul calls on three balls are so crazy. Sean Elliott was mentioning it. He was saying it's almost got to the point where you can't even contest a 3-point shooter. And he's almost not wrong, dude. Like, you have to, if they're going up for the shot, you almost have to jump across their body and contest crossing their body. That way they can't stick their foot out and land on your foot. And even when you jump out and contest going across their body, guys will do their follow through. Say they usually follow through straight up. They'll do their straight up follow through and they'll kind of bring their arm down like that and stick their arm out almost in front of them. In front of them, if y'all have noticed that, and they stick their arm out. So you run into their arm, and then it's just crazy the way 3-point shooting is being officiated right now. I get protecting the players, but I don't know. I don't know what they can do to make it better because it definitely could be better. The way it's officiated, there was at least one in this game. I think Champagnie had one. Jalen Brunson had like the same thing where they jump out and you slightly kick out that front foot to land on the defenders, land on their foot on purpose and get that foul. But I thought that was pretty crazy. So many like three or four different flagrant fouls on three balls, and if like 80s basketball fans are watching, they probably think this is crazy and they hate it. But anyway, awesome game. Again, Spurs win. Here's our little lead chart here. The royal blue is going to be the Knicks, of course. The Spurs are the black here. You see a whole bunch of royal blue on here. The Knicks led for most of the game. There was only 6 different lead changes. The Knicks' biggest lead was 19 points right here in the second quarter. Our biggest lead was only 6 points, but came right around the end of the game. We win 134 to 132, but we were up 6. We were up 6 pretty much right at the end of the game. Jalen Brunson gets that little steal in the corner and hits that little fall away three. But Knicks kind of dominated for most of the game. They have so many people that can score buckets. Of course, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. Who's the guy? Jordan Clarkson was killing it. I think they call him Deuce McBride, but Miles McBride. They have so many players that can just get buckets, and I think they're number 2 in the league in offensive ratings. So the Knicks have been amazing. Again, they're not a great defensive team, but they just have so many guys they can just give the ball to and isolate and just get buckets for them. The Knicks are an amazing team. We match up, I guess, kind of badly with them. They were missing Mitchell Robinson this game. He probably would have hurt us again if he was out there. But the Knicks are a really, really good team, and they gave us a great game, and we're able to start the new year with the win, so it's great for the Spurs fans. But yeah, we have 134, they have 132. We win by 2 points. We out-rebounded them 48-40 on the rebounds. Again, they're missing Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson destroyed us the game in the tournament, if y'all remember. He had 10, I want to say 10 offensive rebounds. So it was just crazy how Mitchell Robinson was destroying us in the in-season tournament, but we're able to out-rebound them for this game. It may have been different if Robinson was in there, but we'll take it. We'll take the win. We'll take our 48 rebounds. Knicks have 32 assists. We had 25. It did feel like they were moving the ball better than we were. Julian Champagnie just goes off. We'll get to him in a second. He knocked down 11 threes. They were probably all assisted, so Julian Champagnie was just going insane out there. 7 steals to 7 steals. That's a wash. We have 3 blocks. They have 2 blocks. There was one play I remember. Jalen Brunson goes up for a right-handed layup, and Wemby just blocks his shit up on the glass. The ball's still on the way up. It didn't touch the glass yet, but players just get blown away when Wemby blocks their shot because you're just not used to anybody blocking your shot that high up on its arc. And again, it was a totally clean block by Wemby on Jalen Brunson, but again, it's just insane to get your shot blocked by Wemby because you've never got your shot blocked like that before in your life. But we're 49% from the field. They're 48%. We started off pretty cold in the first half. The Knicks were up 19 in the second quarter. Then we started heating up. Going into the second half, honestly, Julian Champagnie, he knocked down back-to-back threes 2 different times in the fourth quarter. And, needless to say, he was pretty much the reason we won the game. He was the spark we needed. Wemby goes down with his hyperextended knee. We'll get to that in a second as well. But once Wemby went out, all the air and the energy kind of went out of the building. We still want the Spurs to win, of course. We're still going to root for our boys out there, but everyone's just thinking, man, I hope Wemby's okay. Looks like he is okay, but we'll get to that in a second as well. That's crazy. Knicks shot 42% from 3. We only shot 37%. We'll get to the attempts in a second here, but felt like we outshot them from 3, but it was just watching Champagnie's insane game kind of inflated what my eyes were seeing with our 3-point shooting. They're 90% from the line. We're 80%. So they got us there. We have 50 points in the paint. New York has 42. This is the big stat here. We have 23 second chance points. New York only has 7. Again, Mitchell Robinson destroyed us in the tournament game, so it's nice to see us win the second chance points battle. It was probably maybe 30 or 40 seconds left. De'Aaron Fox missed that layup. Luke Kornet gets the rebound, gets that and one over Karl Anthony Towns, and that kind of iced the game at that point. Luke Kornet's doing his little shuffle man dance, whatever it is, and we just love you so much in San Antonio, Luke Kornet. New York has 30 fast break points. We have 19. I don't know if this is considered fast break points, but if y'all remember, at least like 3 or 4 different times we make a bucket. One time was OG Anunoby. At least 2 times was Jordan Clarkson. We make a bucket, and they just sprint down the middle of the court. We don't get back, and they're getting wide open layups on the other end, and it's just inexcusable. We can't have that happen. We've had that happen probably all season long, honestly. I've seen multiple times where we make a bucket and the other team just pushes back and gets fast break points off of our own made bucket, and we can really work to polish that up. But moving on to the player stats, though, we'll start with New York stats. Jalen Brunson had maybe not amazing. He had a good game out there, though. He probably could have been better by his own standards. He expects a lot out of himself, as does the entire NBA. But Jalen Brunson drops to 29 points. He's 10 for 24 from the field. He only shoots 41% from the field. So like I said, I'm sure Jalen Brunson probably thought he could have played much better, but he's an amazing player. He has the 29 points and the 8 assists. Only 1 turnover. He was hurting us pretty good out there, but we did a good job keeping his field goal percentage down at least. So we had to take the 24 shots to score the 29 points. So we did a pretty good job defending Jalen Brunson. Micheal Bridges is amazing. He's played like 580 games straight. I'm pretty sure they said he hasn't missed a game in his entire NBA career, and that's just amazing. Guys need to go work out with Micheal Bridges and see what that man is eating, how he stretches, and try to get yourself in Iron Man shape like Micheal Bridges. But he had a good game with the 13 points. Diawara, he made like his first 2 threes, I think. Then I feel like he took all 5 of his threes in the first quarter, but he knocked down 2. Then he cooled off. OG Anunoby's amazing defensively, but he had a bit of an off night. Only the 9 points out there on 3 for 10 shooting. He's 0 for 5 from 3. he had some good looks out there. We just got fortunate that OG missed all of his threes, to be honest. Karl Anthony Towns is a beast. He has the 20 points, 7 rebounds. He's 5 for 10. He only took 10 shots out there, which is kind of weird. I'm used to seeing him take more shots out there, but he had a decent game. Deuce McBride and Jordan Clarkson. Again, they just have so many people that can score buckets. They had Brunson, Towns, McBride, and Clarkson. They were all over 20 points. Again, the Knicks are an amazing team. They just play such good offense, and all their pieces just fit so well together. But Deuce McBride has 21. Jordan Clarkson has the 20. McBride's 58% from the field. Jordan Clarkson's 47%. They were really hurting us. We have a lot of trouble guarding those types of guards. Jalen Brunson, McBride. When De'Aaron Fox wasn't on our team, he would cook us as well when he was on the Kings. We have trouble guarding those smaller, shifty, quick guards. Stephon Castle does a good job on those types of players, but Stephon Castle is better at guarding like an Anthony Edwards and SGA, like a bigger guard, not so much once you get to those 6'3", 6'4" guards that are just really shifty. Those guards give us a lot of trouble, and Jordan Clarkson, Brunson, Deuce McBride all gave us some pretty good trouble tonight. We'll get to Fox and Champagnie and Wemby in a second. Stephon Castle, I wouldn't use the word digressing, but he's hit a bit of a cold patch right now in the season. He has 5 points. He's 1 for 9 from the field. The 7 assists. He does have the 3 turnovers. Say the 3 turnovers is pretty good. He's really turnover prone, to be honest. If he has like 5 turnovers, I'm not really surprised. So I'm glad to see him only have the 3 turnovers in this game. His shooting was very off. He's 0 for 3 from 3. I was honestly thinking back. I was thinking about the game, and I was thinking, did Castle even play? But I remembered he got 1 bucket. I think it was over Jalen Brunson. He kind of bullied Jalen Brunson. Teams have tape on Stephon Castle now. Teams are kind of putting him into their scouting report, and teams have been doing a good job defensively on Castle. Again, he takes the 9 shots, only makes 1 of them. He does have the 7 assists. We did a decent job playmaking, but just an off game for Stephon Castle. He's been off probably the past 3 games or so. He hasn't been playing so great. We'd like to see him develop an outside jumper, develop his 3 ball. It's not going to happen just in one season for him to develop it. I know he was working on it really hard all off season, but I always make the point, Stephon Castle is best with the ball in his hands, and De'Aaron Fox is also best with the ball in his hands, but we're kind of forced to make Stephon Castle run the offense, because if Stephon Castle is off ball, he's not giving you too much. As a shooter, he can make some nice off-ball cuts. He can make some decent plays moving off the ball, but he doesn't give you anything as an outside shooter, and that's all we have to put De'Aaron Fox off the ball, because De'Aaron Fox can at least catch and shoot and knock down some catch-and-shoot threes. He was 1 for 8 this game, so he was off from 3 as well. But that's kind of what we're forced to do. We're kind of forced to put the ball in Stephon Castle's hands and then have De'Aaron Fox play off ball if we have them both on the court together. Because you kind of saw this game, De'Aaron Fox had the ball in his hands a lot more, and then Stephon Castle is not very effective, but De'Aaron Fox was very effective with the ball in his hands. So I wouldn't say I'm worried about Stephon Castle. He's just so good out there. He's an elite point of attack defender. He's going to get his minutes out there with what he provides defensively. And he's one of those players, even if he has an off night shooting, he can still give you a lot on the defensive end. So, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little worried about Castle. He's hit a cold patch, and I'm sure he'll get himself back right, but teams have him in the scouting report now. It seems like teams are just doing a better job guarding him these past few games. If we can't get him out in transition, then we can only provide so much in the half court if he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Harrison Barnes, I've been worried about Harrison as well. He's been off. Same thing like these past 3 or 4 games, maybe even longer, but Harrison Barnes is 0 for 1 from 3, only gives us the 7 points out there. Does have 6 rebounds and 4 assists. He can rebound a little bit if he's not knocking down his shot. But for Harrison Barnes and Julian Champagnie, I kind of put them in the same boat almost. If those guys aren't knocking down at least like 3 or 4 threes for us, they don't provide a lot. They don't provide a lot as far as like playmaking goes. They both got 6 rebounds this game, so they can give you a little bit rebounding the ball, but those guys aren't, they're not great defenders. Julian Champagnie's an okay defender. Harrison Barnes, he's okay as well, but if he's trying to guard, some of these shiftier guards and these shiftier small forwards out there, he can't do a great job sliding his feet and staying in front of those guys. So if Harrison Barnes isn't knocking down shots, he doesn't provide too much for us. I feel like Harrison Barnes is eventually going to be coming off the bench for us, but Carter Bryant isn't quite ready yet, to even play 20 minutes per game, let alone step into the starting small forward role. But I feel like we're trying to bring Carter Bryant around a little bit, because if Carter Bryant is out there and he gives us, like this, not like Harrison Barnes, if he gives us 7 points on 2 for 6 shooting, at least he can give us really, really high level defense on the other end. It's just that Carter Bryant's offense is not there yet to where we can put him out there, like I said, 20, 25 minutes a game, let alone give him starting minutes. So that's kind of where we're at with Harrison Barnes. I think he'll get his three ball, going again. I think he'll get it back together. But to be fair, I've been saying that the past 5 games straight, and this cold streak's getting pretty long for Harrison Barnes. I said I wasn't worried 2 games ago. I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was worried about Julian Champagnie as well, but he goes off. He was incredible. Sets the Spurs franchise records for three-pointers made. Knocks down the 11 threes out there. He has freaking 36 points. He takes 17 shots. He takes 17 three balls. I fucking love it, dude. All of his shots are three balls. And why not, dude? I'll get worried about Champagnie. I've been worried about him. Like I said, same thing with Harrison Barnes the past 3 or 4 games. And when I get really worried about those guys is when they're not taking shots. Like Harrison Barnes in this game, he only took 1 3. That kind of concerns me. Like, shoot some shots, HB. Like, get up 5 or 6 threes. You're probably going to get your shot going sooner or later, but I feel like Harrison Barnes, I feel like his confidence is kind of waning a little bit, and he's a veteran. I trust that he'll get it back together, but again, I've been saying that the past 5 games. Back to Champagnie, he knocks down pretty much fucking 12 threes this game. I'd like to see Champagnie knock down 12 threes across the course of like 4 games, 3 threes every game, and just be consistent across a 4-game span. But, he knocks down 11 in 1 game, and we would have lost the game without Julian Champagnie. And he can do this out there. I mean, same thing like I said with Harrison Barnes. Just keep shooting the ball, dude. We'll get worried about them. Like I said again, if they're not taking shots like Harrison Barnes taking 1 3, that makes me more worried than if they're taking shots and missing them. But Champagnie was amazing. He has 6 rebounds as well. Only 1 turnover. He's not asked to make decisions as a playmaker. He just asked to catch the ball and just shoot that freaking thing up. And he was amazing for us. We would have lost the game without Julian Champagnie. I think I mentioned it earlier. He hit back-to-back threes twice in the fourth quarter. I think we were down 11 points. He knocks down back-to-back threes, cuts it to 5, if y'all remember. It felt like we were about to lose the game. It felt like the Knicks were about to blow it open. Wemby just got, I don't even want to say hurt. He hyperextended his knee, so energy was low in the arena. Then Champagnie makes those back-to-back threes. He gets the crowd back into it. Then he made 2 more back-to-back threes with maybe like 2 or 3 minutes left, and then, the momentum was totally in our favor at that point. Luke Kornet, he only has the 7 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had the big bucket. I think it was like 30 seconds left. He gets the offensive rebound, gets that and one lefty hook over Karl Anthony Towns, and we just love Luke Kornet so much out there. Dylan Harper, he only played 16 minutes. I felt like he didn't spend too much time out there on the court, but to be fair, Champagnie's freaking on fire, so just leave Champagnie in the game. I think Mitch Johnson did a good job just riding the hot hand. There have been times earlier in the season where I'll see Champagnie make 2 or 3 threes in a quarter, then Mitch Johnson will take him out, or Harrison Barnes does the same thing. I feel like Mitch Johnson has had times this season where he takes out our hot shooter when they could have just kept on going, and this game, he left Champagnie in there and just let Champagnie keep on cooking. And, I can't say it enough, Champagnie was just amazing out there. But Harper has the 2 points, 0 assists, only 1 turnover. That's so weird to see Harper play 16 minutes and not get any assists. We expect so much from Dylan Harper already as a rookie. If he plays 16 minutes, I expect him to get at least like 10 points and 5 assists, which is asking a lot from a rookie player, but Dylan Harper is just such a special player. I think we know how good he's going to be. He's really confident in himself, and he's going to be our starting point guard probably within the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, I don't know the time frame, but he's going to be our starting point guard in the future, and we're already molding him into being that. And I'm not worried about Dylan Harper at all. He's a rookie, so he gets the leniency. Where again, with like Harrison Barnes and Champagnie when he was cold, they'll make me a little bit worried again. Keldon Johnson's our boy out there. The llama is in transit. Keldon bought the llama. He's gonna get his llama. So shout out to Keldon with the llama action. He has 19 points. He's 5 for 12 out there. 8 rebounds. I swear he had like 4 rebounds in the first quarter. He just brings so much energy down low. Only 1 turnover. He has the 2 steals out there. I've been so impressed with Keldon. I always mention it, just playing his new role. He just comes in off the bench. He'll give us 25 to 30 minutes. Again, Keldon had 31 minutes this game. Shout out to Mitch Johnson again, just riding his hot hands. Because there will be some games where Keldon has 25 minutes, 24 minutes. But this game, again, Mitch Johnson did a great job. He recognized Champagnie was hot. He recognized Keldon Johnson was bringing that energy we need. And he played those guys some extra minutes. Champagnie doesn't play 36 minutes every game. Keldon Johnson doesn't play 30-plus minutes every game. But they got starter-type minutes because they were just on fire and playing so great out there. To my Keldon Johnson point, again, I think we all love him in his new role. He just comes in and gets crazy offensive rebounds. He's going after every single offensive rebound. He had 3 of them this game. His shot selection is so much better. He'll just get the ball. He'll just get downhill. A lot of his shots just coming inside the paint, coming right inside the restricted area. And I would complain about Keldon last year, the year before, just with some of his decision making. He'd make some bad decisions on offense, I feel like, and he's still growing as a player as well. His basketball IQ had just gotten so much better this season. He's making such great decisions. He only takes 2 threes. There have been times in the season where I feel like Keldon kind of settles for the 3, but not nearly like it was last season, the season before. He's really cut down his 3-point shooting attempts. He might take like 3 threes. If he doesn't make one of those 3, he'll usually just throw the 3s out the rest of that game. If he makes, 1 or 2 of his first 3 or 4 threes, he'll keep shooting them. He's done such a great job just playing in his role. Another point I like to make about Keldon, just playing such physical defense. That's another thing that I would kind of get frustrated at Keldon about, just him not being disciplined on offense and on defense. Last season, there'll be times when he's just ball watching and his defender gets a backdoor cut on him. Things like that, just not being locked in, where this season he's been so locked in. He's so strong. There was a time this game he was matched up against Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is trying to back him down. And Keldon just like a brick wall out there. He can guard power forwards, and he can even switch onto a center for like a little second. He's not going to guard them all game long, of course, but if you're trying to back down Keldon and bully him in the paint, he really doesn't get bullied down there. He does a great job just playing strong physical defense. And I'm just so happy with Keldon's offensive and defensive IQ. He's just so locked into his role, and he's doing such a great job playing his role. Wembanyama plays the 23 minutes. He's fucking amazing. He has 31 points on 83% shooting. He's 10 for 12. He has 13 rebounds. So he has 31 points and 13 rebounds on 80% shooting in 23 minutes. If he stays healthy and he gets up to 30 minutes, he probably has like a 40-point, 16 rebound game, just something insane. He was playing so great out there. I loved Wemby's shot selection. He was, I don't want to use the word settling, he was taking a good amount of mid-range jumpers, and honestly like to see that more from Wemby. He's so good in the mid-range area. I always say I like to see him catch the ball right there at the free throw line, turn around and face up, and then he can just pull up right there at the free throw line. He can see the entire court, and he can hit some cutters. He can pass out for corner threes. He can take one dribble and get to the rim and dunk on somebody. I always mention when Wemby's dribbling outside the three-point line and he brings his dribble inside the three-point line, it's like a lot of turnovers. Maybe he gets out of control and gets a charging penalty. But when he's playing, right there at the free throw line area, and he's getting people to actually give him entry passes into the post, I feel like he can be a lot more effective when he gets the ball in that area. But this game again, I like to see Wemby catch the ball wherever you're at, take like one or two dribbles and get into your shot. He did a great job doing that in the mid range. Wemby's ball handle has improved since last season, but once he starts dancing too much and he's trying to dance against smaller players than him, most of the players are, but if he's trying to dance against players that aren't like 7 foot tall or taller, he'll have some trouble with his ball handle when he's getting guarded by those smaller players. Wemby, he has the 3 turnovers this game. He has the ball in his hands so much. Superstar players usually have 3 or 4 turnovers on average, so I'm not really too worried about Wemby with the 3 turnovers. Of course, Wemby hyperextends his knee. He seemed like he was in really good spirits after the game. He comes out, he's in his slippers, he's chilling on the bench with the boys. If y'all saw Jokic hyperextend his knee, I hope Jokic gets well soon as well, but Jokic is out like 3 to 4 weeks. It hasn't been announced for Wemby yet, but hopefully that won't be the case. If y'all saw the Jokic injury, his teammates were helping him off the court. He was limping really bad. Or with Wemby, he just got off the court on his own power. He had a bit of a limp, but he looked pretty much fine, to be honest. And I think we could possibly see him for tomorrow night's game, but we'll just see what the medical staff does. To be honest, as a Spurs fan, I don't think he's going to play next game. I feel like he might be out maybe 2 or 3 games, hopefully nothing longer than that, because we're always really, really precautious with that type of stuff. But again, the hyperextension, it looked pretty nasty when you saw it happen, but we all know Wemby works on a bunch of flexibility, a bunch of yoga and stuff like that. So, he does that for situations like this, and hopefully that's going to pay off and he won't miss too much time. Wemby was talking about it. He said his knee felt a little bit sore, kind of like spraining an ankle. He basically sprained his knee, hyperextended the knee, but he was in good spirits. Hopefully we'll get some more news from the medical staff, but they did like an initial inspection on his knee. Of course, nothing is torn. He doesn't have any major injuries, so that's good news. I think Wemby will be just fine. I would expect him to miss 2 or 3 games. Just as a Spurs fan, we usually are pretty precautionary about stuff like that, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how they want to handle it there. Last but not least, De'Aaron Fox was awesome for us. He's 1 for 8 from 3. His 3 ball was really off. For De'Aaron Fox, I just always want him to keep on shooting. Just be yourself out there, De'Aaron. His 3 ball was off. He missed 7 of them, but he's 11 for 21 from the field. He still shoots 52% from the field. He's having a career year as far as his 3-point percentage goes. I think he's having a career year as far as his field goal percentage goes as well. And De'Aaron Fox is just so amazing. He had 26 points on 52% shooting from the field. He had 7 assists, 3 steals. He had 0 turnovers, which is just amazing. And everyone just says, "Oh, that's just De'Aaron Fox out there." He had another De'Aaron Fox game, and he did. But that's an amazing game to have 26 points on 50% shooting with 7 assists and no turnovers. De'Aaron Fox has the big bucket late. Champagnie just hit a 3. De'Aaron Fox gets in the lane, hits a pump fake on, it was Karl-Anthony Towns, Anunoby, somebody, but they fly by. De'Aaron Fox gets that easy layup at the rim to give us a lead in the 4th quarter. He has another one. I think Champagnie just hit back-to-back 3s again. De'Aaron Fox comes off, I want to say a Luke Cornett screen, gets to the free throw line, and knocks down a free throw line jumper. So, De'Aaron Fox is our second best player behind Wembanyama, obviously. It's really not even close. It's De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. That's our 2-headed monster. And then maybe Stephon Castle's our 3rd best player. And maybe you like Devin Vassell better. But, De'Aaron Fox is obviously our second option. And De'Aaron Fox is maybe not quite a superstar. If this is a superstar, De'Aaron Fox is like right there underneath being a superstar player. And again, we just expect so much for De'Aaron Fox. He expects so much from himself as well. And again, like I was saying, to have 26 points and 7 assists and 0 turnovers, that's an amazing game. It should get talked about. I'm talking about it right now, but it's just another day at the office for De'Aaron Fox. One thing I'm really impressed about, De'Aaron Fox has such great awareness of how many shots he's taking out there. He misses the 7 threes again, like I was saying, but he's still over 50% from the field. I think at at every moment in the game, De'Aaron Fox knows how many shots he's taken. He kind of knows how many shots the rest of the guys around him have taken. He does a really good job just feeling out the game, knowing when he needs to go out and get buckets, knowing when he needs to move the ball and get his teammates involved. There's never a time in the game where De'Aaron Fox doesn't know how many shots he's taken, doesn't know how many shots he's missed. This game's a great example. Again, he's 1 for 8 from three. You might think he's just taking shots out there and just kind of being nonchalant and just playing basketball, but he knows. He knows he missed the 7 threes. He knew he was still over 50% shooting from the field. If De'Aaron Fox is having an off night, he'll kind of take his foot off the gas. He'll become more of a distributor. If it's not like tonight, and he has a pretty hot hand, he knew Wemby went down. He knew we needed a spark towards the end of the game, and gives us those two big buckets down the stretch in the fourth quarter. So De'Aaron Fox is so amazing. This has totally died, but people were talking about trade De'Aaron and all this shit earlier in the year. I don't think it was so much Spurs fans, but outside the Spurs fan base, I know there were some Spurs fans that are just really locked into Spurs basketball and didn't really watch De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. But I'd watch De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. He was amazing in Sacramento. He's amazing in San Antonio. And I think people in San Antonio that didn't watch him so much when he played for the Kings, they're really starting to see, what a special player De'Aaron Fox is. But Spurs get the win. We start the new year off right. I'm trying to hit 7 million subscribers. Please like and subscribe. Please let me know what you thought about the Spurs win. And we'll see y'all next time. Peace.